Alright, how's it going, guys? Today I am taking a look at the rust of the WRX. If you've known my car, it has a decent amount of rust, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of it and see how bad actually everything is, at least structurally. And we're going to take a look at the strut mount tops in the back, which I haven't seen in a couple years since I installed my suspension. And then we're also going to look at it in the trunk area and all back there. I'm going to show you guys where these things rust out at and what you can do to prevent it or save your car if it's still, in savable condition. So the first place that you're going to want to look is the strut top area here. My top part is not bad at all. I got a little bit creeping up right here. You can barely see it. I actually sanded a little bit of it down. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sand this all down as much as I can, clean it up, and I'm going to put fluid film all over top of it. And right in this little seam, the bubbling that you're seeing is actually the way that the seam is. It's not, that's not actually rust in there. It's not bubbling up. It was just a bit of surface rust. So I figured I'll get in here and, take care of it. What actually causes this, to some extent, there's actually a piece of tape right here. You can see the outline of the tape. You got to take that tape off. For whatever reason, the tape and the seam here, and up underneath, where all the salt and everything gets, that's what rusts these out. And then you can see the other side here. I got, again, that's not a bubble. That is just the seam there. So I'm going to clean that up, and I've already sanded it mostly down. You can see all the way in the back there. It's not bad at all, really. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is not bad at all. I've seen these like totally rusted out, like this whole area here. So up here, everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. I mean, I wish there was nothing at all, but I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to, put some fluid film all back in here and sand this all down. And, it's all structurally good. There's nothing creaking back here. It's all still good, for being a 20-year-old car-ish, 19, 20 years old. This is 2004 at this point in 2023. So I'm going to sand this all down, make sure that's all good. So then I got looking back here, and I started taking the trunk apart. I've already noticed that I do have some right here. That's had fluid film on it for a number of years. This drain here, I'm going to clean this up and get some fluid film on it. And then down here, this seam here has had fluid film on it, so that's holding just fine. And I finally pulled away this whole trunk liner. I've got the whole trunk apart right now. And I'm looking back in here, and you can see where there's just plenty of room for shit to get in there. There's no holes, but you can see it's creeping up, I guess, a little bit. And you can also see back, you can't see it very well on this side, but I'm gonna get this whole little arch thing. You can see like the inner arch there. That's where they rust out at, that's a thing. And then you can definitely see over here, do you see that corner there? That's where the inner arch is, that's where it rusts out. So I gotta get some fluid film on that. You can't really get back there and clean it up is the shitty thing. This is extremely tight down here and all in here. You can pull back this and make sure that you don't have any big holes down here, but you can see it's dirty because there's all these vents and shit here. So like moisture gets in here, and you got to get in here and you got to clean this shit out if you're going to keep your car for a while. And I'm also noticing back there, I got to clean that up a little bit. This side doesn't have any, fortunately. But yeah, I got to get back there and clean that up a little bit. That might be starting to be, I don't want to say structural, but we don't want that to be structural. So I'm going to clean that up a bit and get some fluid film all back in here. All right, so I'm all done here. Cleaned it all up, fluid filmed all back here. I'm going to take a paper towel to this so it's not all running everywhere. But I did it all up in there, all up in this strut top here. I'm not going to be changing the suspension anytime soon. It's already been done recently-ish. So it's been done actually twice in this car. So that's good for a little bit. But we got it all up in here. There's even a little hole down here sprayed in there. You can actually spray in these holes down here too. And it goes down into like kind of the unibody down in here. And then I came over here, sprayed all up in this section, got all back here to kind of protect this. The underside up on the wheel well has already been done months ago, so that's holding just fine. So you got to really fluid film fucking everything back here. Seriously, get back here. This stuff can be wiped away eventually if you ever need to do some work back here, but make sure you fluid film everything. It's a Subaru, fluid film everything. And also you can see I did the around the trunk center hole here just because it wasn't really rusting, but I cleaned this up and then I put fluid film all in there, all on the seams here in the back, And then obviously back in that section, fluid filmed the shit out of it after cleaning it up. And then all back here in the wheel arches, you can't really clean that up, unfortunately. It's way back there, so spray it on, pray for the best at this point, really. All back down in here, all along the seams and everything. Clean up what you can, you know. I obviously vacuumed in here, but clean up what you can. But, you know, fluid film it all, protect it. You're gonna get like water and shit back in here sometimes, moisture at least. So fluid film all back in here, all up in there, all your seams, you know, it's all gonna rust. And even the gas, you can see the edge of it, the gas cap area, fluid film that too. Fluid film it all. You know, you're not gonna see this shit. I even did this preemptively because I know they kind of rust there at that seam, so just squirted a little bit back there to keep that at bay if it does pop up. You can't go wrong with this shit, this fluid film stuff, so fluid film away. And here you can see the rust that's been on the outside for a number of years. I've been fluid filming this, and again, keeping it at bay. You're not gonna fix anything with this, but you can help it. You know, this has been staying like this for a number of years, probably at least 6, 7 at this point. And if I wouldn't be doing this, it would probably have rotted this whole section out and spread and everything. And you can go back here if you have any pieces missing, that's going to be repaired eventually, but I fluid filmed that. This has all been fluid filmed up in there, up in all this section up here. That's yellow because of fluid film, not because of rust, by the way. Got to get all back in there. And you can see it's just creeping up right here. So I made sure to get behind that, all up in there. You really got to keep this shit at bay, guys. Really work on it. Go over your car once a year and check everything out, especially if you drive it in the wintertime, which this one is driven in the wintertime, and it's like, it's getting there. I also did up here, by the way. I've done this numerous times. Get all up in here, fluid film all up in there. This stuff will eventually wash away, and water likes to lay up in this area and just rust the shit out of this, so get all up in there.